Many non-dual teachers seem to create a duality between consciousness and the character. How do you reconcile this with ND, near death? Non-duality, I know you mean. Or is this just a preliminary truth for beginning practitioners? Or is this a preliminary truth for beginning practitioners? Hey Juha, thank you for your question. Well, yeah, ultimately, I mean, the character doesn't exist. So even to put this character, it just seems to be a character. So in every moment, there's a pattern that's playing out that we call Lisa's character, or we call Daniel's character, or we call Mohammed's character. But there isn't actually a character. It's the way we describe things. So Khaleesi doesn't have thought like we have. She has some form of thought, but not this cognitive language that we have. So she doesn't see Lisa's character, but she has a sense of Lisa, of what she does and doesn't do, what she likes and doesn't like. But she doesn't see Lisa as a character that's going through time. I am just what I am in the moment, even though her body has learned predictable behaviors. So it's only us as humans that name these as characters, and we interact because we've got this complex society which need characters to interact. We've got like a phenomenal society. I know often in the spiritual world we're like poo-pooing how bad and evil this society is, but taken from a different perspective, it's phenomenal. We're the only animal that has considered empathy. Other animals do have empathy, but considered it in a language. You know, yeah. You know, when I lived in Thailand with Khaleesi, Khaleesi was originally from Thailand, you know, the packs of dogs were so ferocious there. They often killed weak dogs. So Khaleesi was trained like that. So now when I'm in the West and we come along across weak dogs, she often wants to fight with them because it was just, you know, if they killed the weak dogs, then there was more food for the stronger dogs. But they couldn't necessarily tackle a strong dog, so they just went for what was weak, you know, because the competition was so high. And we have these urges and instincts as humans, but we contemplate not doing that. I mean, this is phenomenal that we contemplate that. We still do, you know, like hardcore things without empathy, but just the fact that it's there in our society, but also the things that we create. I mean, it's really amazing that we all have like these sewer systems in our house, or most of us, and we just take it for granted that we're connected to the mains of water. So we're connected to this network of water which is distributed. I mean, how much easier does that make our life? That we have internet, that we have electricity, that we have the ability to create complex sentences in order to comprehend each other's meaning, that we have translation apps so we can speak with communities that communicate in different languages. We have cameras that can take still images of the moment. I mean, we are phenomenal. We have done amazing things. We really are. And there's a possibility of going out into space and living in space. I mean, there's just so much that we have. It's so exciting, our society, like our possibilities. There's also pitfalls as well, which spiritual community, including myself, like to pick up on. But there's also really amazing things that we do. And I forgot what I was saying that. Yeah. about this character, but the characters don't exist. I can't even remember why I was saying that in relationship to the character, but I was just trying to say, oh yeah, we have these characters which interact with this complex society. Like Khaleesi doesn't need a character in order to interact in her communities. We do. We need some form of identity in order to communicate, to build relationships, to have predictable behaviors, to keep doing a repetitive job. There's so many reasons why we need a character, but we suffer so much because we identify with that character and we forget who we truly are, that we are this moment, that we are this empty looking that's all things and no things. As soon as you identify, there's energetically you contract, but then you identify with all the thoughts that that character has, like I'm good, I'm bad, I'm right, I'm wrong, and none of that's true. I am a bad person, I've done bad things. It's so much suffering. You are this moment, and in this appears and disappears a character. And that character can change and evolve, but it's not it's not where the freedom is. You endlessly try to evolve yourself and be better, and you can't. It's impossible. Like I used to think that, if I got rid of a lot of my conditioning or became conditionless or whatever it was I thought, I used to think at one point I would then be able to get on with everybody. But that's not true, because it's very threatening for society to have a really good person, because not everybody else is good. We're all based on comparison in our relationships. So if you come across as too perfect, that's very threatening for everyone else. There's a whole host of things. It's just not how you imagine. Like having perfect conditioning is not the freedom that you're looking for. But do it. Recondition yourself. Always be open to expand on the condition level. That's the nature of us. That's what we want to do, is expand. But your freedom is this moment, is this empty looking. That's who you truly are. Who is looking at the conditioning? Who is looking at the person? What is that? What is it that never changes? The person, your conditioning is changing. The voice in your head is changing. But what else is here?